Hello once again. A warm welcome to Talk with a Lawyer. My guest for today is Barrister Elizabeth Uwaifo. Barrister Elizabeth Uwaifo is an English qualified solicitor and the managing partner of Radix Legal and Consulting Limited, with over 30 years of experience advising banks, financial institutions, and corporate bodies. She is a proud alumna of Federal College, Warri, Delta State. Barrister Uwaifo, welcome to Talk with a Lawyer.
Thank you very much.
In your biography, it is stated that you are the advisory board of the University of East London Centre for FinTech. My question is this: what is your involvement with FinTech and why?
I was drawn to fintech because of the potential that fintech has to bring prosperity and economic emancipation to millions of people. I come from Nigeria, of course, as you know, and as you noted, and Nigeria and the rest of Africa is notorious for having millions and millions of unbanked and underbanked people. And that is also representative of the level of poverty that we have in the country. And so to the extent that we can include many more of these unbanked people in the formal financial system, they will find ways for economic improvement. And with fintech and the growth of digital banks and mobile money, millions and millions of people who have hitherto been excluded from the financial sector have found a way to be included. And with that, they are starting to get more access to financial resources that many of us have taken for granted. So fintech for me is really a very important tool that can be used to create further wealth in the future.
What are the key legal issues that a FinTech company would likely face?
Okay, so key legal issues the fintech company will likely face. I mean, I will start by saying that a lot of the fintech companies that operate in this space tend to be startups. And these companies, where they are not heavily capitalized, as most of them are not, they tend to enter into contracts with existing operators, and either they provide service, they are service providers, or they provide technology for the existing operators. So they tend to work in partnership with other entities in providing the services. So the key area where they need to be very concerned, and the key area that actually determines their success, is the quality of the contracts that they enter into. And where these contracts are not well structured or not well written or do not address the needs of the companies, they sadly will find when they become successful that they fall short of their expectations. So the one key area that they must pay attention to is their contracts. And then the second key area they must pay attention to is what regulations they are subject to. The fintech companies, particularly those in the payment sector of the market, will be regulated, will tend to be in areas that are heavily regulated. So they may be subject to banking regulations, subject to data protection regulations, or even subject to many other regulations. So they must be well aware of the regulations that they are subject to, and also be very much on top of compliance with those regulations, because non-compliance could have serious consequences for them, and will then stop them from achieving the profits that they actually thought they would be, that they expected to achieve.
Okay, that's good. Okay, how are disputes resolved? In this thing you're talking about, dispute. regarding the fintech, the IT result with the component? Yes.
Okay, so I've already mentioned that the key area that the key thing that fintech companies need to be concerned about is their contracts, because their contracts will make or break them. And of course, that then means that if the contracts are not well written, then there's potential for disputes with their counterparties, disputes with their operators, disputes with their partners, disputes also with investors, because they are investors, and if it's an area where there's likely to be growth, then of course you have lots of people wanting to invest in them as well. So there is also a potential. So where those contracts have not been properly written, then there's a big potential for disputes. And you then obviously need to look at the dispute resolution provisions in the agreement. And sometimes the agreement will provide for the disputes to be resolved in the courts or to be resolved by way of arbitration.
Okay.
And so that is where, depending upon what the relevant contract has adopted, the parties will find that they then have to focus on adopting a particular route. And there's a big difference between arbitration and court proceedings.
Do you want to get into that, please?
Okay.
Don't mind.
Yes. I mean that's where you could parties could choose to have their. I mean, the typical way in which disputes are resolved will obviously be to go to the courts, and the courts of the jurisdiction that has been chosen in the contract. So, if, for instance, you've chosen if your contract is governed, say, by Nigerian law, and you've agreed in the contract that disputes will be resolved in the Nigerian courts, where a dispute arises and the parties are unable to settle it between themselves, then the aggrieved party will have no choice but to bring proceedings in the Nigerian courts. And whether it's Nigerian courts or English courts, depending upon what has been chosen, that will mean that the aggrieved party will need to have the resources to institute legal proceedings and follow through those legal proceedings in the courts of the chosen jurisdiction. The alternative to that is arbitration. And arbitration would it's a system whereby the parties have chosen a particular system where they would actually select arbitrators who will be trained personnel,
Okay.
who are specialized who have qualifications as arbitrators, and their job will be to listen to both sides and make a decision as to who is right and who is wrong, and then produce a judgment at the end of it. It's an alternative to court proceedings, and it's not necessarily cheaper than court proceedings. It's actually can be more expensive than court proceedings, but the difference is that the pathway is more predictable, and those who are adjudicating on the matter may be more experienced. But where startups choose arbitration, it can be problematic, because arbitration is not cheap, and they may find
Because
that
of the financial
absolutely because with arbitration you will have to pay the cost of the arbitrators as well as the cost of the lawyers who will help you in delivering your case. So it can be expensive for startups.
Okay. Thank you very much for the insight. Thank you very much. Please don't go away. We'll be right back with Opportunity after this short break. Welcome back. Glad to continue my exciting program with my very special guest, Barrister Elizabeth Uwaifo. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. Without missing much time, we just go straight to our memory lane market. I call it the box or the challenge. Q&A, name the music, current affairs, and so many more. Are you ready, Barrister?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What is your favorite color?
I will go for blue.
Okay, blue. Guilty pleasure?
That's got to be chocolate.
Oh, fantastic. I think you know, I think that Michael is worried.
Yes,
Just
I
in
did.
Nigeria.
Yes.
So, what was your best subjects in secondary school? If I may ask?
Oh, that was English literature. I loved reading those books.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, no one. That's why you're okay. Do you remember the name of your English mistress or teacher or English master?
Oh no, that I can't remember, sadly.
Okay. The next question. In 4 seconds, I want you to mention 5 words that ends with tall. 4 seconds.
Agitator, solicitor,
2,
fascinator,
3,
administrator,
4,
propagator.
5. Oh, that's really good. It was even less than 3 seconds. Thank you very much. Okay, I love the next question. Who would you like to trade place with for a day?
I think that's a very difficult one to answer.
No, you might say your mom. You might say okay, just one. Just you have to think about just or 3 people. If it's but I don't think it's difficult. I just told you Jesus Christ.
that is quite tough one because I can't really think of someone I want to trade. I mean, I get lots of people that I admire, but I wouldn't go as far as saying I want to change places with them.
A day, just a day. Just
I think I quite admire maybe Barack Obama.
okay.
I would like to look at the world from his eyes.
So that's the food you can eat every day. That's what you love every day. You could eat every day, like me.
Well, I've already said that.
Swallow. No.
Okay, what about chocolate? I know I can definitely eat chocolate every
The
day.
chocolate or the fruit.
Okay, so you want a meal.
A meal. This is like.
But there are certain things I would love to eat every day, but I may not eat them every day. I mean, I do like pizza. So I won't eat it every day. I love jollof rice.
See, Barrister, the question is, I understand you every day. You just tell me jollof rice, pizza, just, you know, you don't have a particular that.
Chicken.
Oh, chicken. Okay, that's okay. I like chicken. Mine's ever swallow up and the yam and do. I don't know what you call it. I love, you know, the content program, Barrister Elizabeth Uwaifo. It was really a pleasure having talk with the lawyer. I really appreciate you taking the time out to attend, you know, to come to the studio. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to you too. Very much appreciated.
Okay. I'm Oloye. Until next time, bye for now.